Just got to find a way to get in. Well, it'll start this weekend. The Chiefs have a really important matchup this weekend against the AFC leading Colts. According to ESPN Analytics, the Chiefs currently have a 53% chance to make the playoffs. That increases to 64% with a win on Sunday. But with the loss, that number drops to just 35%. So, RC, is the Chiefs season on the line this weekend against a really good Colts team?
Absolutely. You're playing the Indianapolis Colts, who are one of the best teams in all of football. But following this game, you play a team that's improved in the Cowboys. You have to play the Broncos again, the Chargers, and the Houston Texans team that will feel like they are in must-win situations as well throughout this season. It's the playoffs for the Kansas City Chiefs right now.
Cam, what do you think? Must-win situation for the Chiefs?
No, ma'am, not at all. Patrick Mahomes said it. You just have to find a way to get in. I think the margin of error, or you need help from other teams to get in. But there's no denying that if the Kansas City Chiefs do make or find a way to make the playoffs with the help, like I will reiterate, with the help of other teams, their season is not over. I don't see another team wanting to see a Kansas City team, whether home or away.
Yeah, their playoffs start this weekend. Just numerically, just numbers are what they are. I mean, they're chasing Buffalo, who owns the tiebreaker over them. They're chasing Houston. They're chasing the Jags. They're chasing the Chargers, who own the tiebreaker right now over them. And they're tied with Baltimore. I mean, there's only seven getting in. So numbers-wise, if they lose, they're just going to be so far behind everybody else that they're going to have to bank on. And Kim's right, yes, help, but they're going to have to bank on 5 or 6 teams providing so much help and falling off to get in. They have to win out to feel very confident.
Go ahead, Stephen A.
I agree. They got to win. I think this is a must-win situation for the Chiefs. I think the season's on the line. I don't think you can afford to lose to any team ahead of you in the playoff standings. Obviously, the Colts, we anticipate they'll win the AFC South, but the bottom line is that Houston is still ahead of you. The Buffalo Bills are going to be a wild card in all likelihood because they're not going to catch New England. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. And then you look, I know they get the Chargers and the Broncos on their schedule. I expect the Broncos to win the AFC West. I expect the Chargers to be right there for a wild card spot, and you got an opportunity to knock them off. But if you lose to the Colts, they really, really put you behind the 8 ball. And I think that's too much of an insurmountable situation, even for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid to overcome. They've got to win this game against the Colts on Sunday.
Yeah, the Chiefs need to string together some wins as opposed to string together some losses, and I feel like that's what's starting to happen for Kansas City. They got to find some momentum here. Better time now.
Who's reasserted himself as a quarterback and also an MVP candidate, and Jonathan Taylor. It's the team that just traded for Sauce Gardner as well. We know this is a big game for the Kansas City Chiefs as well. We know who Patrick Mahomes can be.
Yeah.
That fear alone, even though I'm not saying the Colts fear them, knowing that alone what the Kansas City Chiefs can be, can the Colts stop them and also bury them and put them further than what they are? Also look at this. The number 1 seed is still on the line in the AFC.
For sure.
The Colts have an opportunity to win that. With Houston winning last night, the Colts still play the Jaguars twice, they play the Texans twice, they play Seattle, they play the 49ers, and they play the Chiefs.
Dang.
I think this is a massive game for the Indianapolis Colts, and it may be a little bit more so than the Kansas City Chiefs in my opinion.
Can you hit me with who the Colts have left still?
They have Seattle, the 49ers, the Chiefs, the Texans twice, and the Jags twice.
So the Texans and Jags will have their chances at the top of the division, where the Colts have sat basically since they started on that ridiculously unstoppable run. Let me be clear about what I mean by the question. No one doubts what the Chiefs have been. But for this season, the 2025 Chiefs, whatever it is, their fate is meant to be. Do we learn more about that or more about what the Colts are meant to be on Sunday?
We learned way more about the Colts.
Okay.
I know who the Chiefs are. Chiefs are a good team. They're a mediocre team.
That's all they are.
This year, absolutely. but they don't win close games. That's why. They're an okay football team. We think Indy's really good. We've seen Indy be really good this year. We've seen them have really impressive wins. But this is different. It's November. It's on the road. You're in Kansas City going up against the guy. You're going on the road against the guy. How good are you? We think you're good. You go on the road to Arrowhead in November and you beat Patrick Mahomes at home, you automatically change the way we think of you to you could get to the AFC Championship to being you should get to the AFC Championship.
Listen, I'll give you one Chiefs since everybody want to go with the obvious. I'll go with the Chiefs because we're going to figure out if they still have that championship DNA.
Yes.
They
still got it.
No,
but what I'm saying,
did they have it against Buffalo? Did they have it against Denver?
They still got
every big game they played this year.
The last thing, Greeny, that I would question about the Kansas City Chiefs is if they have championship DNA.
No, what I'm saying is the
year?
levels, right? Because we buried this team. I buried this team years and years. I say, well, now this ain't the year. This ain't the year. They were in the Super Bowl last year. Right. So can they turn it back on? Can they figure it out? Because they have more weapons this year than they had last year, and the offensive line isn't supposed to be as bad as they were the year before.
All right, so let me ask you this question.
Let me get in here because it's confounding for everyone around the league about it because everyone said, well, wait till Rashee Rice gets back.
Correct.
Wait till they get a healthy Worthy. Oh, he's healthy. Well, wait till the running game gets going. It hasn't. It just hasn't clicked, and it's the same players, the same coaches.
Just wait a second. Let me ask Bart, you and Peter this question.
Running out of time.
If the Chiefs don't make the playoffs this season, for 2026, when you go into the season, you're going to question if they have championship DNA?
No, I'm not asking.
It's not about the DNA. It's this year, are they championship worthy? Can
which
they
of these
figure it out?
I think the obvious answer is the Colts have to prove it against the big guys. I think the Chiefs haven't won a big game this
Greeny,
entire
guess what?
year.
Who do they play next week? Thanksgiving, 50 million people watching. They play the Cowboys.
Right.
You're going to lose both those games, and we're still going to say they're the same Chiefs? We got to win one of these.
If the Chiefs lose this game, their chance of making the playoffs falls into the 30 percentile. That's the playoffs for a team that's been in 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls. I'm not questioning what they are historically.
Right.
They're
What
a
are they
dynasty.
this year?
But this could be one of those years. It
Could be the
just
beginning of the
doesn't
end.
And I would say this,
It could be the beginning of the end,
If they make
Harry.
the playoffs, they probably are going to be the favorites in every game that they play.
Sure. But this is the worst defense points per game wise in the NFL in the last 50 years. They give up 33.4 points a game. That is the worst in the NFL by any team in the last 50 years. So should Joe play? Sure, you got to score 40 to win. As long as he feels fine and medically is good, go play. I'm good with it. I understand that he probably feels a burden from this season because what the expectations were and whatnot. I hope he's healthy. Pray to God that happens. That defense stinks.
Okay. What do you think, Darcy?
I think he should play because that's what he's played to do. That's what he's worked his entire life to be one of the best quarterbacks in the world. And if you're healthy, you're supposed to go because regardless of what that defense looks like, you still have your teammates out there scratching and fighting offensively to make every play they possibly can. But I will say this about the Cincinnati Bengals defense, you got to have some pride at some point.
Yeah.
This defense is like the woman that was supposed to marry Prince Hakeem in the beginning of coming to America. And they're like, how you want to score? And they're like, whatever way you like, because that's exactly what's happening. If you want to run it, if you want to pass it, however you want to get in the end zone, the Cincinnati Bengals are going to let you. So as long as Joe Burrow know that, then he's fine to come back.
That's the third reference this week by someone around me for coming to America, and
You probably have never seen it.
never seen
Never
it.
I knew
Not
he was
shocked
gonna
at all.
Wife has.
Not shocked
You
at
have
all.
not.
Never seen it.
Why wouldn't Joe Burrow play if he feels like he's fully
Yeah,
healthy?
he's
They
fully
still
healthy.
have a very small percentage to get into the